sometimes I do have to keep in mind the time difference between Illinois and California, so I have to submit a lot of my assignments 2 hours ahead of when it's actually due. Um, that just gives me less time to complete them.
Zoom classes are kind of tough with the time difference. So I have a 9 a.m. class, and the time difference means I have to wake up at 7 a.m. to attend that class, and that's definitely not easy.
I think the most stressful part of trying to get home was packing up everything for an unknown amount of time while I was taking exams, doing research, doing my homework.
Stay-at-home order did not create too much of an obstacle just because I brought my laptop back and all of my work was on there. And Tennessee actually just lifted the stay-at-home order yesterday, so I'm hoping that I can go back sometime soon and get all my stuff from Champaign.
It definitely is difficult to stay motivated at home, especially when like I think a lot of people have this kind of same feeling when they go home, like you're back in your high school mode. You're kind of like maybe sleeping a little bit more, doing a little bit more recreation than you're used to at college. There's not a library and peers to interact with that motivate you to do your work on time and quite as vigorously.
I don't really mind the transition to online classes all that much because it's loosened up my schedule a lot since I can go do homework at any time of the day, do my classes pretty much whenever I want to. And I like that I'm able to pause lectures and get all the information I need out of it the first try instead of having to go back at a later date and figure things out.
I'm not a huge fan of Zoom classes. I think it is a good alternative to in-person lectures, but I don't think there's anything that really compares to going to class in person.
I have to watch my fluid mechanics labs online, which again, I think the professors and TAs have done a great job of making it still interesting. But at the same time, it's just not as effective. If you're not actually doing the lab with your hands and you're instead watching it happen, watching the TAs do it, it's just not the same thing.
I do think that Zoom classes are better than pre-recorded lectures that the professor posts, just because when it's live, it's easier for me to focus and actually listen to what the professor's saying, and they can interact with the students that way too.
The biggest bummer for me was getting a taste of some conclusive results right before spring break and then not being able to go back to campus to continue the research.
One of my courses is a group-based course where we do all of our homeworks in a group, and so these homeworks are not easy at all. They take about 10 hours or it's like 15 hours a week, and I have to collaborate with two other people on them. And the fact that my two other teammates are in different time zones makes it even tougher because we need to find the right time to be able to get on a Zoom call and work on it together and hash it out. But sometimes I'm up at like 4 a.m. at night getting these homeworks done because of the time difference. And yeah, that's definitely the biggest challenge.
Probably the most positive part of all of this is being able to spend an unprecedented amount of time with my family. It's an opportunity which I may never have again for the rest of my life, and something that I've certainly been missing in the last 3 years being at school. So definitely a huge positive in all of this, and I'm taking full advantage of it. Stay healthy. Bye.